This tutorial is about how to maximize your farming, like really how to get the most out of your farming. So there's a few things. When you do get to the stage that you do get, of course, do try to get a tricep. Not necessarily. You can also get a scav backpack. As I said, it's going to be the size of these 4 shotguns. Now, if you do have a scav backpack, only prioritize shotguns. Unless, of course, you have an M4 or some bigger, cooler gun. Because this way you get the most money out of it. Of course, the 153s have the most cash, so do prioritize the 153 shotties instead of the 133s. And the second thing is, in case you do find a gun that requires double space, like the M4 or the AK or the Keter, it requires double space, like double width, always put it in your hand, because like this I have more space to fit in more guns. So if preferably I don't find any double guns and I only find one double width gun, I always stick it in my hand. This way I can fit 2 more shotguns here. So, and I see a lot of people doing this, like when they're loading up stuff, they're putting double width guns into their scav backpack, for example, which means instead of 2 shotties, I can only take two shotties and 1 double, and they put a shotty in their hand, which is really stupid. So you shove the AK into your hand and then you put the shotty here and then you have space for another shotty. That being said, this is one way of being efficient. So even if you have a scav backpack, you can take 4 shotguns. And then it comes down to your tactical rigs. Now the Alpha Vest is not recommended, but in case you have a ton of money and you really don't care what to do with it, you could do it, but I'll tell you why in terms of efficiency. The Alpha Vest is like having an MBSS on your chest. So with all tactical rigs, being the Alpha or the Sniper or the Blackrock or the AVS that you get, always prioritize sticking your pistols in your tactical rigs. This way you maximize the amount of money you get. And of course, over experience you'll understand what is worth a bit of money and what is not. So also depends on your luck of the loot, so sometimes you might just get shit items. But generally always stick all your pistols into your tactical rig. Of course you do have another extra slot in your character, and you stick that in as well. So generally your tactical rig is going to be filled up with pistols and then all the junk loot. You never put the junk loot in your backpack. Do not do that. So, and your pockets of course has the rest of the junk loot itself. Now why I recommend not to take your Alpha Vest with you? Because to make the Alpha Vest somehow pay off itself, you need to get a pretty good gun, like for example this one. I don't know the names of the damn thing, but it's a SIG. So, for example, the PMs only give you like around 3,000 to 4,000, depending on what type of things they are. But the SIG gives quite a bit of money. Like just alone the attachment to it gives around 4,000 or 5,000, depending on who you sell it to. So Skier, just the attachment will give me around 5,000. So in total, this gives me around 10,000, nearly 10,000. I think the whole gun itself. So somehow I need like a couple of these SIGs to pay off for the actual space that I have here. And now, what do I mean by that? If I have a Blackrock, the Blackrock itself sells for 10,000. Same thing with the AVS. So the Blackrock itself sells. The Alpha Vest, of course, I can't sell it. I'm using it to get more space. So for the Alpha Vest to pay itself off, I need to get a hell of a lot more than 10,000. So I need to get 3 or 4 pistols that just pay off the fact that I have the Alpha Vest on. And then I need to get additional loot. So this is what I'm saying. Most of the time, the Alpha Vest does not pay off for the space that it gives you. It pays a hell of a lot more off to just always come in with scav vests on, chuck them. You have them insured anyways, you're going to get them back, and then replace it with a Blackrock. And then that Blackrock or the AVS, you fill it up with all the pistols and then all the other junk loot that you do find along the lines. If you're really lucky and you have the gamma container, put on the Alpha, the Blackrock or the AVS that you have on, shove in all your stuff in the gamma container. Of course, this only works if you don't have a Grizzly. Into your Blackrock, fill it up completely with pistols and everything you need, especially factory key, and then put that in your gamma container, and then you put another Blackrock or an AVS on and you fill that up as well. This way you come out with 2 AVSs or 1 Blackrock and 1 AVS. So that's just 20,000 right off the bat, just because you got these 2 with you, right? And then of course you can sell all the stuff in it. Now to even make this even more efficient, if you have your armor insured and your main gun insured, you can chuck your armor, always pick up a fresh armor. So if it's 0 out of 30, excellent. Fresh armor, you get it repaired, you get a 27.7, and you get another armor that you can sell off, and you can anyways get yours back at the moment the insurance is done. Your primary weapon also is insured, no problem. Chuck off your primary weapon if you find another weapon, especially if you cleared the map out. You know you're going to get it back, or hide it somewhere. Pick up another weapon and you know you're going to get it back. And this way you can literally maximize the amount of stuff that you're getting back. You know, same thing applies to anything you have insured. If you find another helmet and you got a helmet, you don't have any more space, throw your helmet away, hide it somewhere, you know you're going to get it back. So this is the way. And like literally, even with a scav backpack on a shitty run, even without filling up my gamma container at this phase because I have a Grizzly, but especially in the beginning when I don't still have a Grizzly unlocked, I always fill up AVS or Blackrocks in my gamma container as well on the way out. You're going to be making around 150 to 200,000 a run, and that's like if it's a shitty run and you don't have players that are not properly equipped. But, you know, sometimes you can even reach the 350,000 mark, maybe even more, in terms of being able to sell all the stuff out. So that's pretty much it. So why don't I show you how much money we're going to be making off this run. I even got a bunch of stuff from other runs as well. So let's say if we didn't have our M4s, right? So if we shove our M4s here, and if we replace our M4s, let's pretend that we got just Segas that run, and we didn't get the M4s on that run. Where's another? Here. Yeah, let's say we got these instead of that, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be selling technically, what is it? 153, 153, 153, 133, 153, 153. What was it? 4 133s, 153s. I'm gonna keep the 153s because I'm gonna convert them. So let's again take the shittier version. Let's say that we had, what was it? 4 133s. Let's make it 4 133s and the Sega, because I can convert those to an M4. So let's shove this back up. This is another thing you should know, like how much stuff, like what guns convert to what. 4 153s convert into an M4, right? And another trick is if there's this stupid glitch in terms of the inventory management. If you drag it from the bottom or from the top and rotate it, it sometimes helps out. So I dragged it from the bottom now. It should hopefully, yeah, work. You see, I dragged it from the bottom to rotate it. So you sort of get the hang of which way is what. So let's pretend, right, that, okay, fine, let's do it with an alpha chest rig. But we got to sell these 4. We got to sell a Sega, right? So let's take a look at how much money I'm going to make off this. And of course, there's many ways to be more efficient. So of course, always take a look in case there's an attachment. We can always sell attachments to either Peacekeeper or to Skier to get even more cash out of it, depending if we need dollars or rubles. So we're going to sell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're getting 75,000. Okay, so 75,000 deal. That's one run. And then we had the attachment. So if we go to Skier, let's say we're going to do it all in rubles. That's another 2,600. Let's round it up to 3 because we had a little bit left there. It was 75, I think, no? I guess so. So let's say 77,000, right? And then I come back here. And then I'm going to have another Sega, and I see that this one's souped up. So of course I'm going to take out the stuff because I can get a hell of a lot more money selling the attachments and the scopes to Skier. You can of course sell all your guns to Peacekeeper, but you got to remove all the ammo from the gun itself in the barrel. You got to remove the ammo in the barrel, and you got to remove all the ammo in the clips. But I find that a waste of time. I find it more efficient to just sell all the guns to Pavel and then exchange it in Peacekeeper when he resets with the dollars that he has. So we're around 77,000, I think we were at last. So here's another 2,000. Here's another 9,000, right? So that's 12,000. That is what, 87,500, right? Let's make it 88,000. Let's round it up just to be safe. 88,000. And then we're going to sell another 16,000 here. So we're going to be around 88,098 plus 6. So we're at around 104,000. So we're 104,000, right? With the tri-zip and with just the gun that I have here. And I'm not even counting the pistols. So let's pretend that I had a BlackRock instead of an Alpha, right? Which I believe could fit most of the stuff. You know, just to confirm it, let's do that. Right, let's do that. Let me just shove this, right? Oh, it fits perfectly. There we go. Oh, no. Okay, so let's just pretend that we had a BlackRock with this. So that's 4 pistols and another BlackRock. Again, I'm going to remove the attachments because I'm going to make more money off it if I sell it to Skier. Right? So now we're going to sell the pistols. Is 1, 2, 3. I think there was 4, no? Yeah, there we go. 24,000. That was 104, 108. Plus 20, that's 128,000. And then we have another 4, that's 132,000. Right? And then we have the BlackRock, which is another 10,000. Let's not forget that. Where the hell is the BlackRock? There it is. Right? So we're going to come here. We're going to have the BlackRock, which is another 10,000. There we go. 11,000, whatever. So, and this is just off a run with not really crazy guns that I got from players. Like if I ignore the fact that I got some M4s from him. You know, this is just a standard run. And this is, of course, later on when I can afford the triceps. But still, you can still get easily between 80, let's say, if you have a scav backpack instead of a tricep, you can get between 80 and 150,000 on an average run. With the Tri-Zip, you're starting to reach the around 150,000 mark as average, as minimum. And then, of course, it goes more. Now, of course, I would have got even more money if I threw away my Keter and I threw away my armor and my helmet. But, of course, the helmet and the armor I don't generally sell because I just keep recycling them as they keep coming in, the new ones and the old ones I just keep recycling. And then the older ones, because as I stockpile too many, what I start to do is I start to sell all the armors that are below a specific point. So you do start to make money even off the armors over some time as the insurance keeps coming in and you're getting your old armors that you threw out and your old guns that you threw out. So you start to recycle those as well and sell those as well. So this is, I think, one of the most efficient ways of making cash. And you do make a shit ton of money. You do make a shit ton of money. You, of course, got to know how to at least play well, be a little bit decent. The whole point of the game is that you can't win all the time. You got to keep this guys in mind. There's no point of having equipment and items in your inventory if you're just going to stare at them. It's completely pointless, right? Gooder guns, better armor, better stuff makes you able to move forward and progress better and kill better stuff. Like you have an edge with better stuff. So it's not a hoarding game. A lot of people hoard it, and a lot of people find it very hard that they're dying. So the whole point of the game is you're going to die and you're going to lose and you're going to lose all your stuff. If overall you're winning a little bit more than you're losing, or at least if you're breaking even, it's excellent because you're at least leveling up and progressing further. So, and that's pretty much it. That's in terms of how to efficiently farm. Now, in regards to the rubles, because the rubles take up a lot of space, this might change later on, but because now they take up a lot of space, when the final game is done, they might have in their own storage. What I recommend you do is that you actually change your rubles to dollars. The dollars take up a hell of a lot less space, and you can use dollars. Like, you don't really need so many rubles. Like, at some point, I think now I don't know how many I have. Now I have around 700,000 rubles. That's ridiculous. I generally, like, the rule of thumb for me is don't have more than 200,000 rubles because you're never going to spend them more, especially when you reach to a certain point of comfort of having a bit of stockpile. They just take up too much space and you can fill it in with other stuff. In terms of even being more efficient, in terms of using your stash somehow, get a document case that I think gives you, it takes up 2 slots and it gives you 16 slots inside and you can put in all your keys. So now I'm using 2 rows, which is insane. If I had the document case, I could literally reduce it to, frankly, not even half a row, because I could use 14 keys in just 2 slots in the document case. So that even saves up even more space. But again, who knows? Maybe the hideout will resolve that. Maybe it won't. Whatever the case, it is useful to save some space in regards to that. Now, the wallets themselves, of course, save space. The wallets are mainly made just for cash, so you can only put in cash into them. Right, I've been lucky. I've been finding quite a bunch of them lately. But what I generally do is the moment I get a $50,000 stack pile, I shove it in here. And I generally keep the additional surplus of money in here. So here's my reserve. I generally like to keep this full. Unfortunately, it just consumes always from here for some reason. But here's like my reserve of 200,000 rubles. And then the rest I generally convert all the time. I don't want no rubles in my inventory because they just take up many, many slots. And I could replace that with guns instead. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys liked this quick sort of overview and tutorial for how to farm up and how to make a lot of money off Tarkov. And if you have any other questions or if you'd like me to do any other tutorials, do let me know. And see you guys around. Bye-bye.